Hello, what's up guys? I'm Kyle from KGR, and these are Super Shadow and Super Silver figures. Now originally, it would have been nice to have, Super Sonic in the box as well, so I can get his Chaos Emerald, as well as just unbox all three and just have a good time. But I got my Super Sonic through the triple pack, so I don't have one to unbox, unfortunately, but I will compare it nevertheless. Now, Super Shadow goes like probably $250 more or less on eBay, and Silver gets a bootleg or factory defect. Point is, there is one where it's not right. There's like gapping, paint issues, and the Chaos Emerald's not like made right. I don't know, but this is a lot of money. I didn't spend like $300 on these, thankfully, but thanks to our friend George Buck, also known as NightSonic123 on Instagram, he hooked me up with these as well as many other figures. So huge thank you goes to him. That said, if you want to try to grab some of these yourself, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to help you, but his Instagram's down in the description if you want to check him out. So we're going to unbox these. We're going to compare them to not only the Super Sonic, we're going to compare it to the standard versions of the Jakks figures as well as the Jazwares versions of the super characters. Because for the longest time, that was my super roster that I had. Now, that was fine with that. But then they said, you know what? Jakks Pacific, we're going to make some new ones. So, before we unbox these, let's take a look at the packaging real quick. So, they're mostly going for the same thing, like this modern Sonic, the Chaos Emerald, and all that stuff. Like you see what you see. But then on the back of each one, they show the different points of articulation. Like, this has 11 points. This one also has 11 points. I love how they both come with a classic Sonic as well as a modern Tails in both waves. That is silly. But I feel like the better wave out of the two is probably Jet. Like this one, like we got Jet. But then they both have their own little bios, so let's read those real quick and check that out. I like how this one says Chaos Emerald. This one just says White Emerald. They're both Chaos Emeralds. I don't know. I'm just getting salty. But anyway, looking at Super Shadow, he says, already the ultimate life form, Super Shadow can take things a step further. His speed and power are limitless. And that's even before he takes off his inhibitor rings. Oh man, he's even more powerful after that. But then he dies. And then comes back. But next up, then we got Super Silver, which has a more interesting bio from what it looks like. Because, more words. When the 7 Chaos Emeralds powers are combined, Silver transforms into Super Silver. In this form, Silver's speed, strength, and psychokinesis abilities are significantly enhanced. I mean, both kind of go for the same thing, but this one kind of felt like it had more, like, epicness to it. I don't know. But I'm so happy to finally have these. Now, with Super Shadow being a collector's item, being a $200 to $300 figure in the box, you would think I would just keep them in, but no, I'm opening this. We're going to play with this. This is a toy. We're going to put him on the shelf, and we are killing the value on it. And you know what? That's okay, because these are my toys now. First, gotta get this little red Chaos Emerald out, which I have a feeling I'm going to have a bunch of these, so I'm probably going to offer those as trade bait. Let's kick him out of this box. There we go. Yeah, Super Shadow. Man, he's an expensive toy, isn't he? All right, so now that we finally got him out of the box, here's a closer look at Super Shadow right here. I mean, it's the same figure, just in a yellow mold. Same paint details, sometimes a few mistakes, like the little white going over his little muzzle. That's okay. But yeah, overall, same figure. But a lot of people are very upset with this figure, strictly because of the fact that it's not the right shade of yellow for him. Because, like, this yellow definitely screams like Super Sonic and maybe even Super Silver. However, Super Shadow kind of goes more for, like, a creamy color. I'll compare the Jazwares version. But yeah, people are not very happy with this version of Super Shadow, and they want a more accurate one. So here's hoping that we do get not only a brand new mold for Shadow in general, but a new reprint of Super Shadow with a much better color, just so it's more accurate. Now, even though this figure is technically like incorrect, like when it comes to accuracy, this figure still goes for a lot of money because this is the only Super Shadow in the Jakks Pacific line, at least in the 4-inch scale. I think even the 2.5-inch one went for the same color tone as the 4-inch one, and people were still not happy with that. But people mainly care about this one because bigger is better. But yeah, it definitely goes for like the same sculpt and everything, like including the hands. Like, man, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy to have them, but having a more accurate one would be even cooler. Now, if we compare him to regular Shadow, you can also see how the eyes look so much better on the Super Shadow, because like the eyes just even like are longer in comparison to the normal version. However, you can see that the normal Shadow has gold painted inhibitor rings versus Super Shadow having the yellow ones. Like, having gold or yellow, to me, it doesn't really matter that much. I think gold technically looks a little bit better. However, it just bothers me there's no consistency. So, what happened? If they were both yellow, I would have said whatever. If they were both gold, I would have said cool. But it bothers me that the eyes look so much better on this one. For a while, I couldn't figure out exactly what it was, but I knew the face looked better on Super Shadow. But now I finally have it in person, I can actually tell. The mouth is not painted on Super Shadow, so that looks great. The eyes, like the irises and the pupils, are longer on this one. The noses are even built different. The heck? Yeah, this Shadow looks so much better. If I could find a better Shadow with the longer eyes like this one has, I'm buying another Shadow and then just replacing this one and then just giving this to a friend. But man, he like upgraded and downgraded at the same time. That is silly. However, now we gotta compare it to the Jazwares Super Shadow. Now, the eyes on the Super Shadow definitely look like, I don't want to say worse because I have fanboyism and I care about this one very much. But the color tone definitely matches a lot better in comparison to the Jakks Pacific one. But it always bothered me that the bottom of the shoes for the Jazwares one were white for some reason, even though the regular Shadow didn't do that. Which, speaking of, the bottoms are yellow on this one, but then the bottoms are gold on the regular Shadow. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the video, but I wanted to give you guys a quick reminder that Figgies is going to be launching here in June. Now, if you don't know what Figgies are, these are little pop magnet collectibles made by the guys over at First Floor Figures. They're best known for their resin as well as their PVC statues, and they look phenomenal. But now these guys are much more affordable, being at $15 a piece, or you could buy a whole wave for a reduced price. Not only are they cute with their little chibi pixelated design, but they also have two little magnets on their backs, and you get a little backdrop, whether it be a themed one or a classic one. And they come with a little plastic base. You can set it up on your desk or your shelf, or if you want to hang it up on a wall, it comes with a little 3M magnetic sticker in there as well. And they do other franchises like video game characters like Banjo-Kazooie or Castlevania, or some anime favorites like Free Ren or Yu-Gi-Oh! Being one of my personal favorites. A link will be in the description as well as the comments section, so if you want to sign up for these, you can get 24-hour early access as well as save 5%, and it also helps me out a little bit. And if you get lucky, you may end up finding a Chase metal card as well, based on whatever themed character that you got. But I love pairing these side by side, especially if they're villains or rivals, so you can have them look at each other. So sign up for Figgies, link will be down below, and now back to the video. But personally, I love the way Shadow looks. He looks, I want to say so cool, but again, there's things wrong with him. Like, he's not perfect. He's definitely a flawed figure. And here's hoping that we can get a new one that is more accurate. But I'm afraid that the resale market on that one, when that drops, is probably going to be the same price as the normal Super Shadow right now. Like, it's so stupid. I don't understand why Jakks Pacific is so afraid of metallic colors. They've done it before. Give us, please, like, if it's something's like a metal silver, just make it metallic silver. If it needs to be gold, paint it gold. You've done it before. Come on. It just makes inconsistencies in the line, and it gets rid of so much potential you have to make your toys look so good. Because I feel like without those paints, it feels even more like a child's toy, and it just hurts me as an adult collector. But I digress. Now let's move on to Super Silver. This is the one I'm the most excited for, because Super Shadow, sure, he's the most expensive one, and I'm happy to have him that I didn't have to pay that much for him. But Super Silver is my favorite because it's silver. Silver is my personal favorite. But anyway, let's open it up, and let's compare this one. We're opening it from the bottom because it was already cracking there to begin with. We get the little white Chaos Emerald. Supersonic fell. Whoops. He couldn't, like, handle my obnoxious nature. I'm going to push this off to the side. And here is a closer look at Super Silver. This one has a bent arm compared to the standard Silver that we got, and I kind of wish the standard Silver got a bent arm like this. I think it looks really good. It makes it look like he's like trying to build up power as well as release it from his other hand. Like, it looks so good. Even his back like hair is like going up too. I didn't expect that, but this one you can actually move his neck around compared to the standard Silver. Yo, can we get a new Silver? Because the old Silver couldn't do, like, he couldn't move his neck all that much. Like, he doesn't have a bent arm. Like, give us a new Silver. I know he printed him twice. I'm not sure if the mold changed between the two. I gotta look and check. But this Super Silver, this is what I want in a Super Silver. They still didn't paint the bottom of his shoes, but that's okay. But man, he looks so good. Oh, I love him. He's so cool. Comparing him to a standard Silver, you can see how like the back quills are like, you know, just laying down and doing whatever. But they look so blocky on the standard figure. While this one, they actually look like they spike up a little bit. These look really cool. Look at him. He's so awesome. However, we gotta compare it to the Super Silver that we got from Jazwares. Now, how accurate is this one? I'm not entirely sure when it comes to color tone, but I feel like this is accurate. So maybe the color tone for Super Silver on this figure probably isn't correct. But you know what? That's okay. But I never noticed, even the Jazwares figure even like printed the hair to go up on that one. It just doesn't look as defined compared to the Jakks Pacific one. Like this, I love both of these figures. Don't get me wrong. But man, the Jakks Pacific one looks so good. Even though this one's probably more accurate, I love this one more. Man, look at him. But it's not a supersonic set if you don't bring out all three. Now here is all three of them standing up around each other. Even though the colors aren't accurate, they sure look really good. Now the Supersonic in particular is probably my favorite mold when it comes to a Supersonic figure. This definitely screams what Supersonic would look like, especially in games like Sonic Frontiers. Now I'm a huge fan of the Jazwares ones because those are the ones I grew up with and those are my first super figures of those characters. Now personally I'm still going to be more of a fan of the Jazwares one, mainly for nostalgia as well as like them being like my first ones and the colors are technically more accurate. However, I can't deny that the Jakks Pacific ones specifically look really good. Like these look phenomenal next to each other. This is so awesome. I mean, here's a closer look at the Chaos Emeralds if you really care about these all that much. I am going to try to get the full set of the Chaos Emeralds and actually have them like all like lined up on each other. However, I'm only missing one more Chaos Emerald technically, so I'm hoping that my buddy Tito the OG hooks me up, but we'll see. Worst comes to worst, I'll just buy that Christmas pack because I want that anyway. This is so cool. This looks so good. I love this. But anyway, thank you for watching. That's all I gotta really say about this. I love it. They look so cool next to each other. They don't look accurate, but they look good. And that's all that matters to a Sonic fanboy. And also, I'm easily pleased. I don't tell you. But that's it for the video. So if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. In the description, there's going to be my link tree for my social media as well as KnightSonic123 for hooking me up with these figures. But also, huge thank you to Ray. He didn't get enough love. He hooked me up with that triple pack where it came with the Hedgehog, the Soap Shoe Sonic, as well as the Super Sonic. So huge thank you to him too. But look at him! They look so cool! Anyway, I gotta go. Thank you for watching. I love you guys to death. And I'll see you on the next one. So peace.